What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review, the latest episode of Attack on Titan, Season 3. I don't even know what to say. Legit! I know I've said this a couple times in my reviews, but after the Season 3. But this is a legit time where I actually mean it. This episode, of course, you guys know I filmed the reaction, of course, and so that one should be dropping probably tomorrow or later today, depending on when this video gets up, because it's currently like 11 o'clock right now, p.m. right now, so yeah, this will probably, the reactions will probably drop around the normal time, the more like maybe around 10 or a.m. or something. Well, no, it's probably take later because I still gotta render it and export the video and everything, so it might even take a little bit longer than that. Who knows, might not even come out till Monday or Tuesday. But I am left speechless. Like, this episode was what I thought it was, what I predicted last week, which was that this was going to be we're going to see what that whole post-credit scene in the first half of Season 3 was all about. This episode said all that and far more. Far more. I am in complete and utter shock right now at what I just witnessed. This is the greatest episode of Attack on Titan, period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is the greatest episode of Attack on Titan. I thought those episodes with Historia and Eren inside that little ice fortress thing were the best episodes Attack on Titan has ever put out. Yeah, this episode 56 told those two episodes to hold its beer. I don't even know what to say. Anyway, but first, before I begin the review, let me talk about the dub of Toonami real quick. The dub this week was fucking awesome. We had the whole thing with Erwin on the whole thing about the say on top of Baja courses. Excellent voice acting from J. Michael Tatum, and I cannot wait to hear him do the speech. But I am also, like, out of the episodes that I'm most excited for to see dub, the speech is probably like the second most anticipated. My first one is this episode. Episode 56, or episode, what is this? I don't know what episode this is in Season 3, but whatever episode it is, I look forward to seeing this one dubbed the most, because I know my man Bryce is going to kill it. I know the English VAs for Levi, for Mikasa, they are going to bring their A game, because you guys might remember back when I was talking about the first half of Season 3, I talked about how I was like, oh shit, how is Bryce going to be able to top this or match the level of the voice acting with that whole speed where like Eren was like, where Eren was like, breaking down when he was tied up, just end me already, and of course you had Historia's English voice, Historia going in there just being like, shut up dumbass, and that whole scene. I was like, and then when I saw Toonami, I was like, this is fucking phenomenal. I fucking love this. This stuff is fucking perfect. So here we are. So I look forward to this. Can my man Bryce bring it? I definitely think so. Will he top the Japanese? We shall see. I mean, the guy that got I forget the dude's name. Excuse me. The dude that's voicing Chudelkin, I prefer him over the Japanese voice actor. Like, literally, Chudelkin's English voice actor is fucking perfect, man. Like, I honestly like him more than the Japanese. Okay, so yeah, enough me rambling about other shit in Attack on Titan. Let's just jump right into this episode. Let's recap it. I'll try to make coherent thoughts while I'm still in the middle of recovering. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this, ladies and gentlemen. So we start this episode off, and also apologies if this ends up being a little bit all over the place with this review, because like I said, still in the middle of recovery. This episode was fucking fire, and yeah. So excuse me if it ends up being a little bit all over the place. I'm still struggling to put all my thoughts together from what I watched. Anyway, so let's just jump right in. So we start this off. Got Eren. He's carrying around Bertolt. Goes over to Armin's corpse, or his charcoal corpse, or burnt corpse, whichever corpse you prefer. That'd be. Goes over there. Is like, why did you never? I had a feeling this was going to happen. Why do you never give up? Why did you just run away? And so then Eren sees the beast titan, or Zeke I should say, on top of that duck titan thing. Now the thing has now has red eyes for some reason. Don't know what that's all about. And it's charging right towards Eren. Eren thankfully doesn't suffer from dumb baby face syndrome, and grabs Bertolt, puts his sword right next to his throat, and kind of digs in there a little bit to know he ain't fucking around. Zeke gets there and is like, "Are you Eren Yeager?" Okay, yeah, I'm done trying to sound like Dio. "Are you Eren Yeager?" It's like, and he goes in. He's like, goes in a little bit deeper. Yeah, you look nothing like your father. I'm like, that's a nice way to introduce yourself. Hi, you're Eren? Man, you look nothing like your father. Now, I'm about to get into some really big conspiracy theories, so indulge me for a little bit. I don't even believe this is going to be true, but it's something in my mind and something I want to talk about a little bit and just kind of discuss it a little bit, I should say. So then Zeke tells him that you are not the only one that's suffering. I know what you're going through. You were brainwashed by your father. You were not the only one that was I forget the wording he used, was like punished by your father or brainwashed by your father. Something along those lines. You are not the only one that suffered from your father. And then we get this shot of Zeke. It then dissolves into a shot of Eren's dad. Now, I could be getting into some really big conspiracy theories here, but what if Zeke is actually Eren's real dad? Now, let me explain. First off, they both wear glasses. Now, listen, I don't even really believe this theory myself, but from the fact that they had a shot, the cinematography straight up had Zeke dissolving into Eren's dad, it makes you at least think that maybe something could be, maybe that there's probably some bigger connection. Maybe he might be a brother of Eren's, maybe he might be Eren's dad's brother. Maybe it could be something like that. Or hell, maybe Zeke is Eren's dad. I mean, they both wear glasses. They're both time shifters. Look, I wouldn't be surprised. These two definitely have a connection. Do I think maybe that they could be related? Maybe. Maybe they might just have been two different time shifters that had that Eren's dad tested on. I don't know. Next we're going to see what's inside the fucking basement, so we'll find out eventually. So next we'll find out what the hell's in there. But I don't know. It's just something I at least kind of had in the back of my mind. Was that maybe what if Zeke could have some relative of Eren? I mean, we found out a lot about the Carmen family last week. How Kenny's related to Levi, and Levi is related to Mikasa, and all this other stuff. So it ain't all the realm of possibility to have different family members pop up and stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there might be something going on deeper between Zeke and Eren. Do I think he's his real father? Probably not. That's probably just straight up conspiracy, tinfoil hat theories. This is just lunacy. We're just getting to fanfiction at this point. But it's something that I at least had in the back of my mind. Anyway. So he comes in there and says, once he sees Levi, the dude, there's smoke all over him. The man's pupils aren't even there, and he's just sitting there on top of the wall. It's like, what? He's alive? He must have chased me away. And then we just see the remaining skeletons of a few titans. And Zeke's like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm out. Let's just settle this a draw. Eren, I'll come to save you later. I'll come to save you again soon. So he leaves. So Zeke leaves and tells him, Bertolt, you're fucked. You're done. You're dead, man. GG, fam. You're done. And so Levi literally just walks off the ledge. Just walks off. Or literally just kind of tilts himself. He literally just he's on the wall and then he just kind of just walks off of it and just starts falling down the wall like it's nothing. He's not moving his arms or nothing. He's just like, yeah, this is just your average Tuesday. It's like Levi, man. Fuck me. So he comes in there, uses the ODM gear to land on the rooftop. He tells him, I'm gonna go check out and give me your gas, give me your sword, give me all. Go. He's like, right. So Eren's struggling to get the stuff off of him, and then Armin coughs blood and starts breathing. I couldn't call bullshit quick enough. I was like, no, bullshit. I call major bullshit with this. Okay, you're telling me Armin was right in the front lines of the the Colossal Titans, sending off major heat waves that are probably on the level of a volcano or maybe even the sun, knowing how quickly it burned his flesh off. And you're telling me he didn't incinerate his lungs? Or melt his lungs? Bullshit. Those lungs should be burnt like an overcooked steak. You know? No way the man could still be breathing. No way when he was that close up there that his lungs didn't instantly melt. I'm sorry, you're telling me his lungs didn't melt? Oh, nothing. Granted, he still got his teeth attached. His teeth are fine, they're just black, but you're telling me that the man survived that and his lungs are still okay? Now, sure, we had the whole thing in Star Wars where Anakin got hit with that volcano where he was sent into the lava. The Emperor saved him, and then just in the nick of time. But he still needs the breathing apparatus so he can, the breathing, and he can start sounding like Darth Vader. That whole breathing thing he has. So I guess it's completely out of the realm of possibility that he could have survived. At the same time, if we could just judge from what we've heard about the smoke anyway, like Connie said that it was hard to breathe, like it burned to breathe or something. That was burning his throat or something. No way that could not have incinerated his lungs. If it went through his skin, it could definitely went through his internal organs too. I'm just saying. Maybe that's just me. I'm not a doctor. But whatever the case may be, I mean, I'm glad Armin's still alive. I mean, I like Armin. But anyway. We then head over to Hanji. She's alive. She has like a bandage over one of her eyes, so it looks like she might have lost one of her eyes. We're not completely entirely sure about that yet. But we'll discuss that later on. So, she has Reiner tied up. Well, he's not really tied up. He's missing all his limbs. He has a blindfold on for some reason. Don't know what purpose that was meant to serve. But anyway, so Hanji starts interrogating him. She finds this little this silver box, and she asks what is this? What's in here? Why were you looking for it? Is it a suicide pill? A bomb? What is it? And he says, it's a letter from Ymir. We're supposed to go to Krista. Which I guess did Reiner and Bertha never know that Krista's real name is Historia? Were they actually not there when that happened back in season 2? I guess not. So anyway, I guess they weren't there when that happened in season 2 when that whole major reveal happened. Anyway, so she's like, oh yeah, we'll see after we read it for ourselves. Makes sense. And then she's like, alright, I got a huge amount of questions, but it seems your lips are more sealed than your armor, so will you talk? Nope. I see we have the same train of thought. Ryder. And then she takes out her blade and tries to decapitate the dude. She puts it right against his throat and starts slowly pushing it closer and pushing it farther and farther in. John tries to stop her after Mikasa patches him up a little bit. He's like, well, what we're gonna do? We can transfer his powers to somebody else. And then we get this flashback to when Erwin was telling everyone about the syrup. About the whole serum and everything, about the Titan formula, everything. It says give this to somebody, they'll become a mindless Titan, but if you be a Titan shifter, then they'll regain all their memories and everything, as well as the power of the Titans that they killed, as well as they'll also gain their memories. And so he says that, I trust this to Captain Levi. He's gonna be the one. So if you find anyone, you can also bring back someone from the Ring of Death. So if you find anyone, go through him. So Hanji It's still a little, and she's like, no, we don't even know if we match the conditions yet. We don't even know where Levi is. We're out of gas. We can't even check on him. These guys probably got some multiple tricks up their sleeve. We can't trust them. And she even says, and she even says, yeah, even if I slice his head off, I still wouldn't be able to relax. So she's like legit thinking about about killing him. But John tells her, this isn't you, Hanji. How do you expect us to defeat the Titans when we do not discover what's in the unknown? So through that, she finally is like, she then asks Mikasa how much gas she has left. She says she barely has enough to make it to where Eren and Armin are. It's like, that's more than I do. Alright, you go, Han. You go there, get refilled, see where you can get the syringe. If not, fire smoke signal, and then that's my cue to go kill Reiner. So she lets go of the sword, finally lets the man breathe, and possibly bleed to death. With all that, saying how far deep that cut was in her neck, but he's a Titan, he'll be fine. Anyway, so she goes on to get to Eren, and one thing. So then, John's like, she's like, this is my plan. You are just going to help inform it. And then that four-legged Titan comes in there out of nowhere. Comes in there about to eat Hanji. John comes in the last second to push her out of the way. She manages to get out there. Then actually we see that actually Reiner's in his mouth, so he runs away. Connie tries to rush after him. Han tells him, no, don't, we're running low on gas. Well, this is just going to leave us vulnerable, so don't go chasing after him. So then we get to Eren. And this is the part where this was the episode at its best. Alright, so we're on top of the roof. Mikasa is there, tears are in her eyes, and she sees Armin's corpse, burned to a crisp, overcooked, and very black corpse. And he's like, and Eren's like, he's alive, he's still breathing, come on, hang on there, man, he's still breathing. And Mikasa's just sitting there, completely speechless, just with tears in her eyes. And so then Eren's like, Levi, hand me the syringe, give me the syringe. So give me the syringe. It's like, no, come on, hand it. He's like, okay. So then he pulls out the syringe box and slowly hands it over to Eren. And once around when Eren's about to grab it, then good old Mr. Ginger shows up. Mr. Ginger with Erwin on his back. Now I won't lie, Mr. Ginger here actually ended up really pissing me off around the end of it, because the way this dude acts in the situation, like he actually has a say in all this, or that he even has a room to talk, when he's around people that have known each other for years, yet he's this new kid on the block, doesn't know jack shit about any of these guys, and yet here he is acting like he's some hot shit. By that I'll explain a little bit more my reasoning of what I mean a little bit later when we get to that part of the episode. So then once he shows up, he's like, oh hell no, I'm gonna give this to Erwin instead. Levi tells me I'm gonna give it to Erwin instead. He's the one who could save humanity. And then we get the commercial, or at least I'm assuming this is when the commercials would have hit in Japan. And then we get right to the post-credits scene that was in the end of season 1 or season 3, but of course extended scenes are put back in there that weren't in there originally, and we get much clarification. It's just like, do you idiots have any idea what you're doing? You want Erwin to die without lifting a finger. And then Eren stands up. And he's just like looking Levi dead in the face with tears in his eyes. He's like, man, come on. And then he tries to go grab the box, but then they kind of just like push it. Then they kind of like Levi ain't budging. And then same thing happens. Punches him in the jaw. Levi legit punched Eren so hard that half his teeth is gone. Legit, I am not shitting you. Half his teeth was gone. I don't know if he punched them down his throat or they were scattered around the buildings. But anyway, Eren lost half his teeth. So he gets in, then Levi, of course, because it comes in there from out of nowhere, got the blade, and she's like, and she's trying to grab at the syringe too to save Aaron, and he's like, Erwin is the one that will save humanity, and and so then you got Mr. Ginger out there. You got Ginger to like, yeah, he's right. He's the savior. He's gonna save Earth, and Mikasa just tells his jackass to shut up, and then. And then Aaron walks and is like, no, it's not the commander in me that will save humanity. It's Armin. And then he explains all the reasons why it should be Armin. Of course, he helped plug the wall back in Troy, back in season 1. There was, of course, finding out that Annie was a female Titan in season 1. There was, of course. I think they were brought up something from season 2, I think, or it was somewhere in the first half of season 3. There was another moment there that I didn't recognize. Of course, figuring out where Reiner is hiding, how to defeat the Beast Titan, all things that help to humanity's survival. And then this dude's like, oh no, and then brings up like, yo, shut up, you're not the only one suffering. Everybody over there is dead. And this dude acts like he somehow knows Mikasa enough to where he can act like this, where he's like, not so much act like, but this dude kind of acts a little bit too, I guess he's, speaking out, I don't even know what the right word is, speaking out of authority, I think, was the right word, because you got Eren, Levi, Mikasa, 3 guys that have known each other since season 1, who have been through thick and thin together. And of course, no Armin, know how he is, and you got this jackass that has never been in the series once, except in the last episode, unless he made some mild cameo appearance in the first half of season 3 that I am unfamiliar with. Speaking out of line, that's the word I was looking for. Speaking out of line. And so yeah, here he is. He's like talking like, oh, you're not the one suffering, and so he's like, yo, stop. And so he's like, tells her about Armin, about the plan to take out the Beast Titan. Which, yeah, it was a good plan, but that's one plan to defeat the Beast Titan compared to Armin's 4 or 5, whichever number it was. The scales are not looking so good for Erwin. Now, I won't lie, this is a very difficult decision for Levi for what he has to do. But at the same time, if I was in Levi's situation, I understand why he wants to pick Levi because of his experience, or Erwin because of his experience and expertise. But at the same time, with how beneficial and how much Armin, I should say, has changed the tides of battle so many times, with the plug in the wall, the female Titan, finding where Reiner was hiding, defeating Bertolt, and that other one, I would say that I probably would have honestly picked Armin instead, just because the man's done way too much good. Like, sure, he does not have the experience and probably doesn't have not as much confidence in himself as he really should have for how smart he is. But I probably would have picked him. Tell me down below what you guys would have picked. If you were in Levi's shoes, who would you have saved? Eren or Armin or Erwin? Tell me that down below. Anyway, so he goes on to that, and then he goes on about, when I found his dick, I was about to kill him, and then I was like, no, that would be letting him off too easy. The only way we defeat the Titans is with the demon, and I was left alive because I am here to bring that demon back to life. This man just starts speaking nonsense. I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? What is this shit? And then he says, stop, and then he straight up tells Mikasa, Erwin is the one that needs to be saved. Stop interfering. And Mikasa's like, oh, hell no. And she's about to go decapitate this fool, which she really should have. But then Hanji shows up and she's like, holding Mikasa back, and she's like, and she's trying to calm her down, but just this motherfucker acting like he's hot shit when he's a nobody here, man. Like, I won't lie, this Loki kind of triggered me a little bit. Like, when I went back and rewatched the episode a second time, I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? What is this bullshit? What is this shit? What is it? Come on, jackass, shut your mouth. You don't know shit. Anyway, with that mini rant aside, so Hanji falls to the ground, still holding Mikasa. Everybody else is a complete shock when they see Armin's corpse. Connie, John, all the guys, and then Levi pulls out the syringe. By this point, Mikasa loses it. She starts crying, bawling her eyes out, and Hanji tries her best to calm her down. And I know, you feel like this, but we need Erwin. We can't let the whole of humanity die. We need him. And she's like, yes. She's like, you could make the same point for Erwin, for Armin. And she's like, yes, that's true. That Armin is exceptionally intelligent, but we need Erwin's intelligence or experience and insight. Which, like I said, both of them bring up great points for why the other one should get the time. The other one should be a time shifter. Erwin because of his experience, insight, and that he is the literal god of speeches. But Armin has just done so. But while Armin, on the other hand, has turned the tides of battle so many times in the humanity's favor that they would not be where they are right now without Armin. So it's a tough decision, but like I mentioned earlier, I personally would go with Armin, in my personal opinion, anyway. Because you still got Hanji and Levi for intelligence. They've been there in the Scouts Raiders for as long, if not longer, than Erwin is. Now, granted, do I see Armin doing godlike speeches like the one Erwin did? No. Armin needs to get a lot more self-confidence before he can start making speeches like that. Where it's like, it's gonna take Armin a long time before he starts, making godlike speeches like that. That got my man Chibi crying. But anyway, so she tells her about the points about, Armin, about them, and so then she says, I have my people I want to bring back too. And so we go back and get a flashback to what happened right when Bertolt went to the colossal form. Her bodyguard dude, or whatever the dude's name is, the guy that's always with Hanji, pushes her away from the blast inside the well like it's the Wolverine. You guys remember back in the Wolverine, back in 2014? I think it was 2014, or was it 2012? Yeah, no. Well, what year did the Wolverine come out? Anyway, whatever year it came out, you guys might remember the movie. Wolverine was in Japan when the atomic bomb hit. He was inside like this well. He had another guy that ended up being the main villain in the movie, and he had like this little door or something over it while the atomic bomb is going off. So he's protected by while Logan was taking the brunt of the thing because the healing factor didn't kill him. That's kind of what it reminded me. So she gets out of the well. Her eye is closed. There's blood all over it. So I don't know if she lost her eye or is just injured or something, or that's just, I don't know what happened. Maybe she lost an eye, maybe she didn't. I'm not sure. But whatever the case may be, so she just sees these piles. So she just sees all this fire or destruction. She says that I'm managing it, but I'm not exactly over it, or I'm not exactly fully okay with it. But that's the only way I can stay sane. You need to keep moving forward, Mikasa. And by this point, after she hears that, she relaxes. She lets go of Hanji's arm, which she was probably going to break in half. She lets go and she relaxes. And then, as a last-ditch effort, in his last breath, Eren grabs Levi's foot. He says, Eren, tell me, Levi, do you know what the ocean is? Armin wanted to see it. And then motherfucking Jinja over here be like, that's enough from you. I'm like, motherfucker, who the fuck are you? I'm sorry, who do you think you are out here interrupting Eren, going tell like, oh, stop this, that's enough, like as if you know this guy, as if you have any real say in this debate, like you really truly can add this conversation. You're a nobody here. These are all the head honchos. Why are you out here? Why are you here messing around with the grown-ups table? Go back to the kids table where you belong, boy. Am I sorry? Am I the only one that feels like this, or does anyone else kind of feel a little pissed off at the way Ginger was acting, like how he's some hot shit? I don't know. Was anyone else feel like that? Did anyone else get a little pissed off, a little triggered at that? A little agitated? Or was it just me? I don't know. Tell me that down below. But anyway. At this point, Levi's done. He's like, everybody leave! I am going to feed Bjertolt to Erwin. End of story. So, everybody leaves, and I like this little callback we got back to season 1. Oh, also, apologies for the knocking. That's my mom. She's like telling me, like, go to bed. That's her. She always knocks on the door to tell me, like, to go to bed or when she hears me. So, apologies for that. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. So, everybody leaves, and so I just say, I love this little callback back to season 1, because you guys remember, at the beginning of season 1, Eren was dragged away by, what's his name, watching his mom get eaten by the Titan. Similar thing here happens, where Eren thinks that he's watching his friend die. Armin. So I like that little callback they brought back to season 1. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a nice little touch there, just to really just add, like, it's a final cherry on top of this godlike sundae. If you even like sundaes, I don't. I'm not a fan of sundaes. I've never even really had one, but I'm not the biggest fan of ice cream, honestly. Except for blue raspberry, maybe strawberry. Those are the only two I like. I hate chocolate. Not a fan of vanilla. I mean, I do like my ice cream sandwiches, but that's about it. Anyway, so I love that little comment to season 1. That was great. That was a nice little cherry on top of the sundae, man. So then Eren tries to go. So Levi puts a syringe into Erwin's arm, and right when he's about to put it in, Erwin pushes his arm over in the opposite direction, pretty much deflecting it out of Levi's hand, and just put his arm on the other side. And I like, while he was raising his arm up, there was a quick little flash where you see kid Erwin, or Erwin's hand when he was a kid, raising his hand when during his dad's history class. But that was actually a nice little added touch there of, like, this is truly the end of his journey. I thought that was great. And he said, "There's anybody outside do you know if anyone else is truly alive outside the wall?" Now, for you guys that did not hear me whispering, because, like, thank God for the subtitles, because otherwise you could not have heard what the hell Eren was saying right here. But it was pretty much saying, you sure nobody else is out. You sure no one else alive is outside the wall. Of course, referring to any soldiers are still alive and somehow survived that onslaught of boulders, or getting shredded. And then we get some more flashbacks to Reiner when Levi was asking what you're going to do with your journey, and of course, right before we had the godlike speech, and then you got other flashbacks of Armin talking about the ocean. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention is when Eren was telling Levi about the ocean, he said that was always his goal. That was his dream when we were kids. But I forgot about that dream when my mom died. And I was all about avenging my mother. I completely forgot about that dream about seeing the ocean. Instead, I was only focused on killing Titans, and avenging my mom, which is true. Throughout all season 1 and season 2, because I don't think the whole thing about the ocean thing didn't get introduced till, I think, season 3. It might have been slightly mentioned in season 2. I might be wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure it was season 3. And it was even the first episode when they referenced it, when you saw Eren with his really long hair, and he says, Armin said that the ocean is a great expanse of water. That whole scene. So, I like that, because, that was how Eren was throughout season 1, season 2, just, the mindless, I'm going to kill all the Titans and avenge my mom, and, and all this, But after, the manga finally started giving Eren some more character development throughout season 3, Eren's become such a much better character than he was back in season 1. I mean, I always liked Eren, but I can understand why some people probably weren't fans of him, because he's just like, I want to kill all the Titans, Anyway. So, yeah, that was one thing I forgot to mention. So anyway, we end the episode off with the Titan, with his new Titan, which is revealed to be Armin. A part of me actually thought it might actually been Erwin for a second there, but I was like, no, this is Armin. Armin gets in there, he grabs Bjertolt, and my man Platinum on Twitter said, Bjertolt, guys, help me, because once Bjertolt wakes up, he's like, oh, guys, help me. He sees Eren and everyone. He's like, oh, please help me, guys. He says, and then he says, me, boy, shut your ass up, take it like a man. that's very true. Armin, take your Bertolt, yeah, take your death like a man. you deserve this death. So Armin eats him, falls to the ground. Levi says his final words to Armin, tells him, I promise you I will kill the Beast Titan, and you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer. Hanji tells him he's already dead, and that is where the episode ends, where we see Armin rising from the Titan, and he's back to normal. Skin's all regrown. I think he got 10 times more muscular too. Like the man got some decent abs, got some decent muscles going on over there. I don't remember Armin looking this ripped before. Maybe I misremember, but I don't think we've ever seen. Have we even seen Eren shirtless at all? I'm not sure. Anyway, whatever the case may be, Armin looks ripped. Surprisingly, that man must be hitting the gym. That man must be hitting the gym a little bit. Surprised, because the man surprisingly muscular. Did not expect. I was expecting him to be a not so defined, because Armin's the exact opposite of a fighter. So yeah, that is where the episode ends. Overall, this was a phenomenal episode. And next week we got the basement. Y'all know I'm hyped as hell to see what's inside the basement. I've been waiting for this day since season 1. And we're finally going to get it revealed. And I am super excited, ladies and gentlemen. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. And overall, my final verdict for this episode is, of course, a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. So hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Flickr. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.